All right, we're going to do a quick still life pencil sketch. So let's go ahead and get our paper and a pencil. Make sure you have a pencil. And we're going to get started. So welcome to this quick art tutorial on how to complete your pencil still life. The first thing that we're going to do is notice the composition of our work, where the pineapple is the larger fruit in the composition, and we have some other pieces that we're going to add in to the work. And so let's go ahead and get started creating our pineapple still life, our fruit still life. We're going to use various techniques like slanting our pencil and making sure we get the sketch down perfectly. All right, let's go ahead and get started. And just put in our basic shape first. So if you want to just go ahead and put the forms in first, so you have your pineapple, and then you have your apple here that comes in front of the pineapple on the side. And now some fruit isn't perfect, so you're not going to really try to focus on getting the fruit to be the perfect shape. However, you want the main form to be into the design. So you have here another circle, a circle, and then a circle as well for this apple that goes off the paper. It just comes up like this. And then this one goes right here. And you have your table that's going to be under, right in here. Or like maybe the fruit is sitting on a dining room table. So we're going to bring our bananas in. The tops of the stem of the banana. And then our table is going to be right here. So you notice my pencil is touching the paper here. And that's where my table is, where the fruit sits, right here on the table. So I'm gently slanting my pencil and bringing in the graphite on the paper. And if you have some paper, what you can do is go ahead and smooth out the graphite across the paper so that what you have is texture, a smooth texture to that. This is like a cloth. You can tell that your fruit is sitting on a cloth where there's like a fabric texture there. So you can go ahead and take some paper and smooth that out. I'm going to darken in the back parts of the banana. And then I'm going to darken in where the bananas are sitting on the table. I'm going to erase the area that's not right. The bananas look like they're a 90-degree angle. We don't want 90-degree angle bananas. They're going to be arced. And then there's a piece of fruit that's all the way back here in the back, like a mango. And there's an apple here. So you put the apple in. I'm going to just shade in this apple. And then I'll go back for that mango in a minute. The stems are always dark. There's a softer gray right down in here. Now I'm going to go ahead and add in my mango. The skin of a mango is usually like a dark green, depending on what type of mango you have. So that graphite area is going to be really dark. And this looks like almost like a star fruit or some type of fruit. It has multiple quadrants to it, the way that it grows. And in the middle of my mango, there's going to be a white area where the reflection in the middle of the mango. This is the darkest area, so I'm going to apply a lot of pressure to the pencil to pull out a lot of darkened areas around the mango. And then I'm going to make sure that the inside right down right here of the mango is white. I'm not going to go ahead and add any darkening in on the inside of that part of the mango there. I slanted my pencil, placed it right down on that paper. And the way I'm holding my hand is that the pencil is really almost touching the paper. And I'm just holding my hand where I'm guiding the pencil, but I'm not using the pencil directly onto the paper for the mango. I'm just slanting in and getting a lot of color on the paper really quickly by slanting the pencil. And I'm going directionally up and down, not left to right, so that I can really pull in the texture of the skin of the mango. And then I'm adding in here these darkened areas on the top side of my banana, and then right here as well. There's a little bit of shading in here. And contrast is another main thing you want with this texture of the banana. You really want to have some contrast. So contrast usually can take place either with color or with your darkest of blacks and then white. So I have a dark gray area, and then I'll contrast it by making it have a really white edge. So here, this part of the banana I can bring in shade. But because the banana is not touching the table here, contrast. Hard line, contrast right over here. And the darker the contrast area is here, what you find is that you get depth. It becomes not just 2D, but 3D. And I'm going to go in to the pineapple and start to add in a lot of gray because the pineapple is extremely gray in here. And then I'm going to contrast that with adding in the texture of the skin of the pineapple by using contrast with the eraser to take away the color that is here on the paper or the shade that is here on the paper. So watch what I do. This is an easy way, an easy technique to go ahead and bring in your texture of the pineapple. I'm going to get one solid gray here. And remember, I'm already having a lot of values on the paper because I have dark gray, I have medium tone gray, and then I have white areas on the paper as well. Going back to this tablecloth here. And I'm going to smooth this out because the skin of a banana is not the same as other pieces of fruit. Like you have your apples that have a shiny, firm texture. And then the banana, though, is soft. The outer skin of a banana is smooth and soft. So I don't want a rough texture on the bananas. They need to be smooth. And then because the banana is so light, it's yellow, I need to have a lot of contrast in here, but a smooth contrast, a smooth transition between my grays and my whites. All right, I'm going to quickly just add in a soft texture on top of this apple. I'm going to go right back to that pineapple like I was explaining. Hard line here. Really hard contrast right in here. All right, now I'm going to go in and start to work on these diamonds that are on the inside of the pineapple. Right over here, there's diamonds. Or sideways squares, as some students said to me, Miss Condi, these are sideways squares. So this is dark in here. The sides of the pineapple are dark as well. Slanting the pencil to bring in these shapes here on the pineapple. And then the pineapple has these really weird little skin edges where the plant just comes up like so. So these are diamonds. Simple shapes create more complex forms. This simple diamond shifted really creates this pineapple here. And remember, I'm still going to go back and bring in my high contrast areas. right here in the middle, erase, erase, erase out the shape. Smooth with your finger. But the texture of a pineapple, you may not immediately want to just go ahead and smooth out with a piece of paper the whole pineapple. I have students that'll just try to cheat and erase take their smudge tool, and they'll just immediately go in and try to smudge the whole pineapple to be one shade of gray. That's not what we're trying to go for here. You really have to take your time with this still life and make sure you are bringing in your highs and lows of gray. So make sure you go in where it's dark and you add in the darkest of areas in the dark parts of the pineapple, right in the center. If it's a white area, you can go right on in, use your eraser and bring in the white areas to create your contrast. If that's not what's happening in the inside of the pineapple, where you have your various tones of gray, that's not okay. So make sure you're taking your time to add in your high areas of contrast. I notice right over in this area here, there's a contrast area, a high contrast, where the lights hit that area really heavily. So I'm going to go in and take the eraser and add that in. Here, down in this area, it's kind of dark around the pineapple. So I can slam my pencil and go in and start to bring in some darker areas of the pineapple. Because this is where the light does not hit the pineapple too heavily. But to really make the design come from a 2D to a 3D, you must have high contrast, your values, lights and darks, your chiaroscuro, what we talk about in the class. Make sure you incorporate that into the piece. Now here what I'm going to do is go ahead and add in all of the petals or the almost like husk of the pineapple. So we have our foreground, midground, background in the background. And then I'm going to add in these leaves here at the top. So watch as I do that. For the symmetry for this piece, the pineapple does not incorporate a lot of, it's asymmetrical. It's not perfect symmetry. It's asymmetrical. So you're going to want to go ahead, take your time, and then add in your leaves, add in your background, add in the shading of the apples. We're running out of time for this video, so I have to move us along. And see, I'm bringing in this in a circular motion. I don't want it to be where line defines the shape. I want it to be where the shade or the hue defines the shape. The value defines the shape. What's happening around the shape with the various textures, the various tones of gray. That's what I'm looking for with this. Not to just draw a circle and scribble it in. That's not our goal. This apple, the perspective is right smack dab where you can see. Really dark right over here. All right, let's bring these leaves all the way up to the top. They spread out. And some are right down in here. The beauty of a pineapple. Be careful. It can be dangerous to some, depending on if you're allergic to it or how you cut the pineapple. It's one of those fruits you got to know what you're doing when you're eating it and cutting it, so you can enjoy it in all of its entirety. All right, so for the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead in with a lot of gray across the whole top here. And then what I want to do to really bring this home, this whole piece here, and now of course we're not completely done because we haven't done the background and these leaves are not done. I'm gonna go ahead in and add in some highlights. To the pineapple. Oh, excuse me, the camera was not there. Okay, so we have still a lot more work to do because our background is not done. Let's go ahead and then fix our background to be that soft shade so we can really make our 2D design become 3D. And let's fix our mango. Let's smooth out the mango. Mangoes almost have a flawless skin to them. So you have to really be careful when they're becoming ripe. Checking them out to see. And remember, we want the whitest area, our contrast here. In the middle of this mango. Where the light really just hits that mango. And then let's move our quadrants around so they're not sloppily done. And then let's go ahead and add in our background. This is where we're going to really differentiate our foreground from the background. Our table is here with our cloth. We have our apple here. And then let's go ahead and get our background in. I'm gently, very so softly adding in the background. So you barely really even see what's happening. We're creating an atmosphere. I'm going to go on this side here behind the pineapple. Make sure you put your edges of the pineapple here as well, where the skin is. It's not even, it's like these pieces of the pineapple are sticking out. The piece of plant or fruit that it is, it has these little sides that come off on the outer skirts there. Let's finish adding in our background. All right, let's go ahead and smooth out what we've created with a tissue or some form of a, I'm gonna take from over here and really just smooth this background. So that there's no hard lines for the atmosphere here behind the still life that's in the front. And let me define my table. This should be dark here. So you can see with this background, foreground, midground, foreground, all the pieces of a really nice still life that you really want to have and incorporate into your artwork. Your darkest of darks, lightest of lights, your contrast, and really making sure that your proportions are correct for your pieces of fruit as well. And that you've taken the time to get this done in its entirety. And it incorporates all the nice pieces of a still life, depending on what you chose to be your object of focus. There you have it. Happy drawing.